Hi everyone, it is getting so close to Christmas. Anyway, welcome to the next video in our Christmas countdown. We have done so many, it's so exciting. And we have a lovely little sleigh or sledge to do today. I'm just going to erase this little bit of green pencil I've got here and then we can get going. They've got a lovely cute little bunny. I was having a think because the sleigh blades could be silver, but I had thought about doing them wood, but I think we'll do them silver. We've got a sky to do. Could do it blue. We haven't got. Okay, let's start with that silver. I've made up my mind with that bit, so let's do that. So I'm going to use the cold grey 4. I think one shade might be enough. So we want it more intense here, where there'd be some shadow underneath this bit of sleigh, which would do a bit more colourful, I think, or wooden, I'm not sure yet. And we'll fade it down a bit, and here we'll do a more intense bit and start to fade it across there. So we get a little bit here that's left sort of to look a bit shiny. So I'm trying to do this so you can see. So more intense here and then less. I think I'm going to put the shine around the centre there. I'm going to do this one similar to this one. So just fading it a bit. See, I used to have a little sledge. Well, I was going to say it wasn't this big, but who knows what size this is. It was red. A family friend made it. He left it outside the back door, I seem to remember, on Christmas Eve one year. Such a surprise. Well, I was told that Father Christmas had left it, but he'd made it. I don't know how my mum knew who'd made it, but she made sure I knew who'd done it so I could thank him. But it was a fabulous little sledge. It didn't have big runners on it, so we put, I think my dad put some on at one point, but it was great fun. It had a little board to rest your feet against so you could stay on securely, a little string, all that. I used to go down, there was a field near where we lived. I used to go when it snowed hard, and I'm going to use the pale geranium lake for the hat. It's a bit of a different shade of red because I keep using the same one. Now, my Santa hat that I have got that I wear when we have parties and things, well, I wear for about 5 minutes and then my head gets too hot, is purple. It's not red. But I like the red ones. Now, is he a rabbit? Is he a dog? Look at those long ears. Could be either, couldn't he? He's got a little tail. Has he got bare feet? It's a bit cold. But maybe he has. Bare hands? Yeah, okay. That's my decision made. I am going to grab, I've been using this a lot. The brown ochre is quite a nice pale warm brown colour, and I'm going to use that for him / her, them. Let's just hold the corner of the page down. You can do a few sort of stripy type movements. It's quite a small picture, so doing fur is tricky. I think if we leave a bit of white paper showing through and try and colour in direction that we think the fur might go, then that's near enough. Tail. It's so small. There we go. Now eyes and nose in black, I think. Oh, there we go. I'm chatting to my boy. He wants a book. we have promised them that we'll buy things for them because save them having to get a student loan. So he was sending me the details of the book because he's in class. What colour sleigh? Should we go? Let me look. What have we got? Let's go a sort of dark green, shall we? Let's go chrome oxide green fiery. Or just something a bit different. Doesn't really matter, does it? What colour it is? Well, it does because of the colour I'm doing the background. But I've decided what I'm doing for the background, so this is going to work. I'm going to put a layer of this colour down and then think about whether I want to darken any bits. I'll see how intense it looks. Oh, just hit my elbow on my sharpener. You may have heard the noise. It's quiet in the house now. No one's here. It's rather nice. Also means I can record with the door open in my office, so if I forget anything and I have to dash out, it's a bit quicker. I still obviously have to stop the video, but I don't have to put the door stop on the door to stop it banging and go in and get distracted by everybody. Okay, I'm going to darken a few areas and then put another layer on because it's a little bit messy at the minute. I'm going to use the deep cobalt green to darken. Now I'm thinking maybe this inside bit at the back might be a bit darker, particularly on the edges where the presents are. So I'm just going to, and there where it overlaps, I'm going to put a bit there and maybe here around where the parcels are. They might be creating a little bit of a shadow, and our little friend's legs here, and maybe it might be a bit darker there and there. That might be a bit too subtle. Whoops, once we go back on top. So now I'm going back to the chrome oxide green fiery, put another layer on top. And then we'll, hopefully it'll look a little better, brighter, better painted. I mean, it might be faded, of course. You might rather do it in a sort of plank wood type design, but I quite like a bright colour. Now I think I'm going to use, just sorting my pencil, I want to roll everywhere. I'm going to use that deep cobalt green again for the string, rope, ribbon, whatever it is. I think it'll just blend in nicely. Well, blend is probably the wrong word, or confusing. I just mean it'll tone in, it'll look right. You know, you would probably expect it to match. There we go. Now we've got quite a few bits left. So we've got our gifts and his clothing or her clothing. I'm thinking, what about jeans? I often do ultramarine as a sort of jeans type colour. It's not perfect, but it'll work. So I'm just gonna put those on. Oh, I just realised there's a tiny bit there that should be green. There should be sleigh colour. I'll do that in a minute. We'll just get the bit darker at the bottom if we can. Yes, I'm just going to sharpen it because it's a teeny bit. The chrome oxide green fiery again. And there, just that bit. There we go. Okay, now jumper. Ooh. Or jacket, coat, whatever it is. Should we do brown? A dark brown. This is the walnut brown. Let's do a walnut brown jumper. Maybe it might seem a bit odd, but I think it will help the hat and the presents look brighter and more exciting if the clothing isn't so bright. There we go. Scarf though, I'm going to do the same colour as the hat, this red. Ooh. the pale geranium lake. My walnut brown wants to roll. Stay there. It's very naughty. So I'm thinking it's going to be more intense here. So I'm layering up more and here. But a bit lighter in there. Yeah, there we go. Okay, oh, now this one wants to roll. Everyone wants to roll around. So we have our little gifts. Now, yes, let's... I was thinking I could do silver ribbon, but we've done some silver, so we don't really want to do that. Let's do some sort of coppery ribbon. So we'll do some colours that match. So this is mauve. I'm going to do for this one. Now we've got a cube here, so I can show you how I would colour it to show how the light hits the sides in a different way. So this is our cube, so I've coloured them all the same to start with. Now the top would be the lightest, I would think, because I would imagine that the light would be falling straight down. I would imagine this surface would be the very darkest, so because our little chap is shading it, so we'll put a few layers here, and then this one's somewhere in between. So sort of 2 layers, 3 layers, 4 layers type thing going on. Try not to push hard to get extra colour. Just layer it up gently, like that. This one isn't quite dark enough, I don't think. Okay, let's make this one even darker. If you're finding you can't get it dark enough with your mauve, you can use a different colour, a black or something to add shadow, but do be careful with black. Now behind, we've got a tiny bit here and here, which I think is another gift. I'm just going to colour it in this red violet colour, just because it matches. Ooh, sorry, that was very blurred. There. I guess it goes blurred a lot, I just don't always notice, because I'm not always looking at the camera. There we go. And the one on the top, I was going to go with a sort of copper colour. I'm thinking maybe a magenta. Would magenta work? I don't think I would put magenta. Orange. Let's do orange and hope that it's going to work. This is dark cadmium orange. Again, even layer across it all to start with. Right. Then this bit's darkest, so keep layering it up. 3 or 4 layers here. A few more here, but not as many as here. And then just a little bit there to tidy it up. Quite hard to see with the orange. And now we're going to do our ribbons. We've got a really, really small space, so I may have been a little bit ambitious. But we'll see what we can do. You could use the copper pencil. I've got it upside down. The copper pencil. You still can't see it anyway. If you want, but I'm going to try to do it with colours. So this is the burnt sienna. A little bit at the bottom, a little bit at the top, on all of it. Cool. I think we'll just do the bottom of the ribbon. There we go. Ooh. Now we want the burnt ochre. So over what we've done, extend a bit. We can only fit in one more colour, I think. And what's it going to be? I'm thinking this dark Naples ochre might just work, hopefully. and leave a bit of white. Just about. Just about. Right, our background. Now we've got our whole snowy scene going on, and I've decided that I'm going to do blue background for like sky, but we're going to do a slightly turquoisey colour. So this is the light cobalt turquoise, and I'm going to start with that and just put that all over our sky. And we're going to have snow on this one again at the end, but just covering everything with blue to start with. Try not to go over the hat, but you can always use some white pen to rescue it if you have. And then it's just a rough first layer. I'm going to use two other colours like I have on most backgrounds. So now I'm going to use the cobalt turquoise, out of shot, which is the darkest I'm going to use. And we'll go into our corners with that one like we have been doing before. So try and scumble that edge to blend it a little bit. And then up and around. So who's ready for Christmas? You're ready. I hope that by the time this video is up on my channel, I will be ready. Okay, this is the cobalt green. It is. Yeah, I hope by now. I was asking my son, it was so funny. Yesterday I said, I want you to have a little think about if you want any special Christmas foods this year, you know, like any Christmas cake pudding, you know, Christmas pudding, any of those sorts of things we have. And my son says this, if you're not English, you might not know. He says, I want some Christmas cake. I was like, okay. He said, the ones that come in those little plastic containers that you cook in the microwave. And I was like, are you sure you don't mean Christmas pudding? He went, well, they're the same, aren't they? Light cobalt turquoise. I was like, no, not really. I mean, I guess they are both sort of cakey with fruit, you know, sultanas, dried fruits and spices. So in that sense they're similar, but a Christmas cake is a rich fruit cake covered with icing and marzipan, and often with nuts, not always, sometimes with nuts. Whereas a Christmas pudding is a suet pudding with usually with nuts, lots of spices and things, very different to a different in flavour to a Christmas cake, much heavier I think. Actually maybe not, probably both quite heavy. Now if you were being fussy about this, you would probably think, oh, we need it to be darker under the sleigh because the shadow, rather than making it lighter because we're near the sleigh, so you know it's dark on the edge. But I'm going to put some snow in a minute, so it's really not going to make a huge difference. And I'm not being too fussy about things like that, just keeping it light-hearted and fun. Getting a little bit of blue. Yeah. Now we're going to have some fun with snow. Right. I think the Posca's been quite good for our snow. We've got these two both with snow, and now this one as well. It's just the way it has happened because of the way it's drawn. So we need snow on the ground. It doesn't actually need to be snowing in the sky on this one, so I might not. I might just put the snow on the ground. because obviously you can't have a sledge if there's no snow. So we've got to have snow on the ground. And if we dot it, we can see the background through a bit. I quite like that. And we can spend 3 hours going dot, 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 dot. It's quite fun. You can do a bigger area if you want rather than dotting. It's up to you. You can just, you know, colour it in properly. I don't know, I quite like the dotting thing. It looks more like snow, I think. I was looking at the weather forecast just now, and there's been a whole thing in the news. Oh, it's going to snow soon. Is it going to be a white Christmas? You know, all the things. Remembering, for those of you in the UK, this is recorded a long time ago, so I don't know what the weather forecast is going to be coming up to Christmas now, because, you know, they always start early talking about it. But we've got some sleet forecast this week, not snow. Sleet is boring, really. It's you know, it's rain and snow. It's just not the same. But it might mean we get a bit of snow falling. But the day after, it's going to be very, very cold but sunny. So it's unlikely that even if it does fall as snow, we'll get any sort of settling, which is quite good really, because my boys need to get to uni. If it snows and they can't get on the train, it's a little bit difficult. One of the boys, some of his classes are recorded, the other one none of them are, so there's just no way for him to catch up if he can't go in, which is rather frustrating. But we'll see what happens, because they're unlikely, because they were like, oh, if it snows they'll just close the uni, and I was like, well, firstly, the unis aren't that close to here, so if it snows here it might not snow there, vice versa. But also, because some of the students live on campus, they can still get in. I guess the lecturers don't, so they might not be able to get in, so maybe they will close it, but we'll see. But it's a bit irritating, and they've got work due in soonish, so they really need to be doing that. That's quite pale, isn't it? I think we need to, I'm going to do some bigger dots. Getting a bit impatient, I guess. Yeah, so I'm hoping that they don't miss too much, particularly at this end of the term, because they've got work due in December and January. They need to get all the classes done so they've got the information that they need to get the work in. Whereas if it was snowing in January, when they start their new classes, I think, I'm not quite sure what the date is when they go back. Anyway, then if they miss a bit, they can catch up, and you know, it's a little bit late now. We've also got train strikes going on. We don't want snow as well, because snow disrupts trains. Ugh. It's all a bit nasty. Right, I think I might make that do. You can do more if you want to, but I'm going to leave that. I'm quite happy with seeing a bit of blue. It almost looks like it's bluey ice. Do you know what I mean? That was part of the plan, really. Yeah, I'm gonna do get my eraser and do a little bit of some circles in the sky. So rather than drawing in the snow, I'm just gonna sort of erase a few areas. I don't know how well it shows up really. Probably not very well at all. It's probably better. Actually, I don't know. Let's use the white pencil. Use the white pencil instead. I still don't think that's showing it very well. I think it's because the background is so pale. Yeah, anyway, I'm going to leave it like that. I'm not going to fiddle around with it anymore. So there he is, our little friend on his sleigh. So that's me for today. I hope you have a really super day. Have some fun, enjoy, and please join me tomorrow. But for now, thank you so much and happy colouring.